I'm Leon Poindexter, and we're here at the Gloucester Marine Railways. And as you can see, we're almost done with the copper work. The last thing that we've having to do is cover this area, and here we've already installed the hinge for the rudder. This part of the hinge is called the gudgeon, and the other part is called the pintle. The pintle has a pin that slips into this hole here, and that forms the hinge for the rudder. The reason we had to install these new parts is that the old pintle was made out of iron. And if you remember, we had a lot of trouble with the electrolysis. The copper being the more noble metal, all the current would be traveling to the iron part and would rot it out very quickly. So that had to be changed. And if you remember the process that we went through, we had to send that piece out and have it remade. And this is a brand new part, and we'll take a look at what we had to do to get this installed. Here we have Geoff. He's the newest member of our shipwright team. What Geoff is doing here is he's refitting the pintle. The old pintle was close to fit, and we needed to make a clean fit for the new one. Here he's fitting the pintle that's sliding on. It's a nice fit. And he's driving in some pins. These pins are bronze, and they're the same material as the pintle itself. We don't want to have any more trouble with electrolysis here. As we put these pins in, we're doing it the old-fashioned way, rather than with nuts and bolts and washers. And the reason we want to do it this way is we want to keep this profile flat, because we've got the copper over this. And here we have the same process. We're doing the whole thing all over again for the gudgeon. First we have to fit it, and then we have to cover underneath of it with the tar so that the worms don't get in. And here we have to make a special part to protect this after end of it from the worms. The thing about these ships is there's no parts you can just go in and buy off the shelf. It's not like that you can get a pintle and a gudgeon for a 1908 Danish schooner. Every single part has got to be handmade, and we've got to cut every part and fit everything as we go along. There's nothing that comes pre-made for us. As we slide this gudgeon on, we're going to do the same process as we did before. We're going to drive the pins in, and they're going to be peened over. And we're going to drive them from both sides at the same time. And as we do this, we round over a head, and this forms like a rivet. It's a very, very tight fit, and actually there's no better way to do this. As we come down to the end of this job, Rob is putting on another layer of tar, and of course this is to protect the hull from the worms. Worms don't like any of these things. It doesn't like the tar, or the tar paper, and especially the copper. As we've done throughout this whole project, Rob is laying out some 30-pound felt, which would be stapled over the tar. As we come down to the end of this, we've used up about 400 sheets of copper now, and about 22,000 nails. As you can see over my shoulder, work is continuing on the Beaver. So check back with us a little later, and we'll see another episode.